Hello, everyone. Can you believe it? It's August. This is the I just press everyone. This is the point of the year where actually start thinking about next year. I know there's another 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 months to go, but I start having conversations with people about 2027, and it does begin to scare me, wondering where the year's gone and where's my life going. But it is what it is, and we have no choice just to keep moving forward. Um, my mum always says, get busy living. Anyway, enough of that psychology. What I want to bring to your attention immediately is one of the things that has cropped up in the news a lot in the last couple of weeks, and it's really aimed or targeted to people who may be looking to buy a home in Ireland and have had basically a property abroad, okay, and are hoping to use the Help to Buy scheme, or are trying to use the revenue. Basically have been chasing down people and have been going to them and saying, hold on, can you prove to us that you weren't a first time buyer? And some people have been taking advantage of this scheme and have been getting a nasty shock in that the revenue are now looking for the money back and with interest. So for anyone looking to thinking about this, they need to be really be aware of the revenue rules and make sure they're not going to get themselves into trouble. The bottom line is, if you've had a home abroad, you're not deemed to be a first-time buyer, and you're not allowed claim the Help to Buy scheme. If you do, then you're risking getting yourself into serious trouble. Now, none of my clients this has happened to, but at the same time, so I don't really know how it works or how, but it's been all over the news, and it's just something I want to bring to everyone's attention. If anyone's thinking of going down that road, it's a path that could lead to trouble. So that's where that is at the moment. Hopefully, this is useful information to people, even if it's not what you want to hear, but it is what you need to know. Okay, well, house prices then are the next thing we need to discuss. And if you look over here, you're looking at basically the inflation for the year on year has basically gone up by, in total, about 7.3%. That's outside of Dublin, and inside of Dublin, it's basically only 4.7%. Okay, there's the 7.3% inside Dublin. Now, that's based on, obviously, the house prices in Dublin are a little bit more. Sorry, I've just moved myself across there. Are a little bit more expensive, so the room for growth is not as great, purely because of, obviously, it's at a point whereby the income levels seem to be at the level whereby there's not as much room for price growth in the Dublin region. The forecast basically for the full year is basically 4%, and that will tie in effect with the interest rates that we're going to have a conversation on in a second. So my take on what I'm seeing is that the house prices are still going up. There's not as if there's still bidding wars going on. But in Dublin in particular, there's a little bit of a kind of less manic, would be the best way to describe it. I wouldn't say it's not there, but it's not as manic. You're not seeing the full kind of £100,000 above the asking price that you had been previously. There's still a gap between the asking price and what do they call it, the agreed price, but it's not as great as it was. Right, just to give you a little bit of an overview of the mortgage market, in the first half of the year, there was 21,232 mortgages drawn down, kind of valued at 6.8 billion, and the sort of number that's about 5% up year on year in volume and 9.6% in value. Right, the key driver of all of this is still first-time buyers. Right. Movers have been a little bit subdued. Now, obviously, with the ECB starting to hike, remortgaging is beginning to pick up a little bit, and more than a little bit. Actually, I've considered from our own inquiries coming through, people that are coming off rates, especially people coming off rates that took a fixed rate sort of 3 years ago, just when rates had gone up after COVID, and they're coming to an end. There's actually significant savings to be made if they look to move right now, and also if they're comfortable with what they're paying, I'd be suggesting that they would look at reducing the term of the mortgage. But for more information on that, just reach out separately on that. So basically, again, mortgage approvals for June showed solid growth, up 15%. So there's still lots of activity out there. The demand is still really, really high, even if the world is in a state of kind of chaos. It seems to not be affecting what's happening in the world at all when it comes to interest rates, comes to demand. Obviously, the volatility in Iran is still there, and the interest rates outlook is still upwards. Ultimately, the ECB didn't move in July, but they are expecting another 0.25%, like 25 basis points, the same as 0.25% this year, and another one in the second half of next year, right? So if you look at the impact, that's kind of the average residential property sold into had a price of 426,000. That's kind of, if you think about it, these are 8 times the average earnings of 53,000. So it's got to be reaching a point whereby the increases can't continue, especially if the rates were to go up that little bit further. So keep in mind that the market, I don't see the prices falling, but if it was me looking to buy right now, and if suddenly you felt there was a bidding war going on, I'd be walking away and looking to find somewhere where there isn't quite that same bidding war. But listen, each case is case by case, and don't be afraid to reach out. Obviously, we often give you tactics on how to play the bidding war or the bidding game, and it is a game. We'll never gamble with your money, obviously. So for anyone that is interested in either looking at if the rates are coming up and feel that there might be better value, get in touch. Or if you're planning on buying your house for 2027, and you like your kind of roadmap as to where you are and what you might need to do, please also reach out as well. Yeah, I can't believe I'm talking about 2027 already. But till the next time, thanks for listening. Hope you got some value from that. Bye for now.